how to automatically qualify your leads in HubSpot. So first of all, why it's important to qualify your leads. So among all the leads you will generate in your website, there is like a part of them that will never be eligible for your services or product. For instance, if you're selling team building activities in US, there is a high chance that a UK freelancer will never be interested in buying your product. So it's okay if you don't have that much lead coming in to lose some time with them before realizing they're not qualified. But after some times, when your lead generation will be bigger and bigger, it will be important to set up this automatic qualification to optimize your sales process. So how to do that? First, you will need to have a pro plan in HubSpot to get the right to work on workflows. And you will need to define your qualification properties. So in our case, let's say that a qualified lead is a lead with a phone number that has an annual revenue of more than $1 million, that is from France and is a decision maker when it comes to purchase my product. So if the information you want to be used for qualification are not native in HubSpot, you need to create those properties. So for instance, in my situation, phone is native to HubSpot, country is native to HubSpot, and annual revenue is native to HubSpot. The only thing we need to create is if it's a decision maker or not. And I already create this property. So now that we can collect those information to say if a lead is qualified or not, we want our workflow to do one more thing. So we want to we want it to qualify our leads, but we want to tell us why a specific lead is not qualified. For that, we will create a property named Unqualified Reasons, and we will add all the different reasons that can make a lead unqualified. So I already created it, and I will show you how it is. So you need to create a multiple checkboxes because if there is like more than one reason for a lead to be unqualified, we want all the reasons to appear under that property. So you create a multiple checkbox, you call it however you want, but it needs to be easily remembered. And you will just write down all the different properties that, all the different reasons that will make a lead unqualified. You save the property, and now we are ready to create our workflow. So we go to workflow, create workflow from scratch. In our case, we want to qualified contacts, so that's okay. And we want an empty workflow. We click on next, and we are ready to start it. So in terms of enrollment trigger, we have like two main strategies. Either you have like several products or services on your website, and you want to qualify leads that are interested in this specific service, or you want to qualify every lead entering your database. So for the first situation, you click on Setup Triggers, Form Submission, and you will choose the form that corresponds to your product or service. If you have more than one form, just need to click on OR and do it again for the second form, etc., etc. You need to save, and voila. Now, let's take the example of you want to qualify all leads in your database that have at least one of these qualification reasons known. So you will just need to add, I will just like to make it clearer, save and start from scratch. So you click on Setup Triggers, and you will just list all the criteria we defined before. So in our case, we want the phone number to be known, or we want his country to be known, or is it a decision maker? And last one, we want to know if his company has more than $1 million annual revenue. And that's it. Now every lead that will have a value for one of those four properties will be enrolled in this workflow. Now we need to think about the re-enrollment. In the case of a qualification workflow, it's really important to activate the re-enrollment. Why? Because a lead can evolve through time, right? It can fill another form, it can evolve, like it can change countries, it can update his phone number on your form, it can become a decision maker of your company, or maybe next year his company will have this $1 million revenue. So if you activate the re-enrollment, it means that every time his info will be updated, it will be re-qualified. So we don't want to close some doors and to just qualify a lead once. So we activate that and we save. Now we are ready to start to qualify our leads. So it's pretty simple. It will be a succession of different if-then branch to check every single qualification criteria we defined before. So just click on plus, if-then branch, and we will start to test all our criteria. So first, we want to know if the phone number is known. We click is known and we name this branch phone OK, because we want to have like a clear understanding on our workflow. We save, and now what will happen? All leads that enter in this workflow, HubSpot will check if we know their phone number. If we know it, it goes on the left. If we don't know it, it goes on the right. So it means on the right, the phone number is unknown. So the lead will not be qualified because of this reason. So we need to set up the unqualified reason for this step. Click on plus, set property value, choose your property name unqualified reason, choose unknown phone, and here you choose append to current values because we want to have all the different unqualified reasons for a specific lead. We click on save, and yeah, I didn't select it. That's better. Then we have check our first criteria. So now we just need to repeat that for the entire list. So I will try to do it quickly. Plus if-then branch, contact, lead, country. Here we want only French lead. We apply. We name it France OK. And we save. Then instead of repeating this process, we can click action clone. So it will like set up the same thing as before. But here, instead of choosing unknown phone, we will choose untargeted country. Okay. We continue doing it for the two other property, which is decision maker, is any off. Yes. And the last one, which is annual revenue. This one, be careful, is not a contact property, but is a associated company property. Click here, select annual revenue is greater than or equal to 1 million. We apply and we save. So now we have our complete qualification process. Here we have our enrollment criteria. Then we check if the phone is known. Then if it's a French lead. Then if it's a decision maker. And then if he has enough revenue. If it's yes, it goes on the left. If it's right, if it's untrue, it goes on the right, sorry. And we will know why is unqualified. But here you will remember, you will realize something, is if the lead is unqualified for a specific reason. Let me just change that untargeted revenue. And that's it. If a lead is unqualified for the country, let's say, the workflow ends. So we don't know if the lead is qualified, and we just know that his unqualified reason is that. What we want is to be able to check all the information for all the lead. So once a lead is unqualified, we want to click on go to other action and go make him continue the qualification process. So that way, if he has 2 unqualified reasons, we will have the 2 qualified reasons. We click here and we do it for all our criteria. You have a workflow that will enroll all leads that have at least one of these criteria known. We will check one by one those criteria. If it's not, if it's not qualified for this reason, it will still continue, so we know all the qualification, unqualification reasons, and we arrive here. Now we want to know if the lead is qualified. So to know that, every lead that has his unqualified reasons unknown is qualified, because it means the lead went on the left all the time. So we create a last if-then branch, and we check if unqualified reason is unknown. And we save. So now all leads that have at least one value for unqualified reason will go on the right, and all leads that have no unqualified reason will go on the left. So here we have qualified leads here, unqualified leads here. Once you create that, don't forget to add the go to other action here, now that we can. And after, it depends on how you deal your with your properties in HubSpot. Like, how do you want to make a qualified lead appears? Some people are using the lead status property. Some people are using like a qualified checkbox. It depends on how you want to show this result. In our case, we will use the qualified checkbox that I create before. We go to set property value. We choose qualified, and because it's the left side, qualified is yes. In the same way, if it's on the right, it means that the lead is unqualified. So we can just copy this value and change the yes for no. All right, now we have a workflow that will say if a lead is qualified or not automatically based on defined qualification criteria. But one thing is, what happens if a lead resubmit a form as we saw earlier? So first time he fill a form, we don't know the phone number, so he has unqualified reason is unknown phone. He go down, and because he has unqualified reason, he become no. Then he resubmits the form, but this time fill with the good phone number. He will go here, then here, then here, then here, then here. The thing is, for HubSpot, we already have a value under unqualified reason through the previous qualification process. So to avoid that and to make a clean start for all leads that resubmit the form, we just need to, at the beginning of the workflow, add an action and clear the property value. Unqualified reason, we clear this value. So basically, every people that gets re-enrolled have a fresh start and can be qualified in the good way. So now that's done, we just need to review and publish. Be careful, if you just want to qualify incoming leads, choose no. If you want to re-qualify all your database, basically, click yes. Be careful if you already have automations based on lead qualification, like let's say all qualified leads receive this email. If you do that, all your leads that were not qualified before and become qualified because of this workflow will receive that mail. So depending on how far you are in your automation, I would recommend to say no and just take into account the next incoming leads. I hope it was clear enough. Sorry for the accent. If you want to find all the different workflows I present on my different channels, I advise you to click on the description below. I create a private web page named the Workflow Box, where I present all the workflow I created in 3 different ways. You will have a detailed article, a detailed video, the one you're looking now, and a to-do list action plan to realize if you want to create the same workflow in your company. I hope it was clear enough, and I wish you a great day.